How long it's been, ladies and gentlemen, since we've done a Dark Deception news update? What is up, SmackNPie? SmackNPie here. Welcome back to another Dark Deception video here on the freaking channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Chapter 5 videos haven't officially started yet, but I will very soon, so make sure you stay tuned. And you know what now, without wasting my time, let us just jump into it. Alright, so we're gonna start off with some merchandise news. So, Vince Livingston, the Deception himself on Twitter announced, quote, "It took me a while, but we're finally getting some Dark Deception vinyl figures. I'm already cleaning a room on my shelf, more to come soon." This is a big news, this is actually a very big news. Plushies are great and all, but the figures are gonna be the real deal. It's what cements a franchise to the next level. It's a big deal. That's why they're getting figures and whatnot. So that's number one. Number two, Joykill figure. Oh, I need that. Joykill is literally designed to be turned into a marketable toy. Plushie would be alright, but figure. Oh, bro. Dark Deception figures. And speaking of merchandise, ladies and gentlemen, Vince Livingston did a poll asking fans, which merch do you prefer to collect? I'm gonna ask you guys the same question as well down in the comments below, and the options were plushies, figures, action figures, and books. Now, of course, plushie won, but I chose books. For some reason, for Dark Deception, I want to choose books. I really want Dark Deception books. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below. By the way, Vincent Livingston, where are the books at? Alright, I need some books to keep me busy until Chapter 5 drops. But yeah, that's the situation that we're in for the time being. Let me know down in the comments below. Then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to Monsters and Mortals. This is interesting. This is actually very fascinating because Yandere Simulator DLC is next. A while back, I didn't make a video on it, but Yandere Simulator DLC for Monsters and Mortals got a Steam page. You can check it out right now, as you can see on your screen. It got a Steam page. You can wishlist it. That was number one. We didn't think much of it and we just moved on. Today, Monsters and Mortals official Twitter announced that 2 new Yandere Simulator DLC tracks dropping tomorrow on YouTube. By the way, they're already out for members, so very soon, in few hours, by the time this video goes live, you will hear the school day or another school day, because there's already a school day track up for Yandere Simulator. So another school day track for Monsters and Mortals Yandere Simulator DLC, and the Fun Girl the Boss theme for Yandere Simulator DLC for Monsters and Mortals, those two coming soon, which means, and there's only one thing, it means only one thing, that this DLC is coming soon. And you know what? I am happy. I am happy because this has been in the works for a while now. So let's see how this pays off. Let's see what this DLC does. I'm gonna be honest with you, not as excited as other DLCs, but it's still new content, so we're here for it. Yandere Simulator DLC coming soon to Monsters and Mortals Dark Deception multiplayer. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are not gonna believe this, okay? So I have my eye on this for like a very, very long time. So you know, and it's a sad situation, by the way, that fan games were such a huge part of this channel. I'm talking about Dark Deception fan games, and they were the reason the community stayed alive. They were the reason the hype and excitement stayed alive, because when we didn't have much teaser and trailers and updates, we would just play fan games and we would look at their teasers, and I've covered like a ton of them. You can literally ask me any fan game, Dark Deception, a big one, and it'll be on my channel. Anyways, the point is, there's this one fan game, right, way before Chapter 4, that is being in development. And I've covered it on the channel from Torment Fan, aka Messon. If you remember this fan game, Torment Therapy fan game, yep, the Nurses fan game has been in development for a while now. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? After 5 months of nothing, yep, their last tweet was in September. After 5 months of nothing, this month in February, they came out of nowhere and posted 2 new teasers. You know what? Just check it out for yourselves. Oh my god, I don't even know what's happening. Like, I don't even know how we got to this point. I know 5 Joyful Nights is in development, but that is something that is a special case because those characters will come back. And I'm not saying nurses won't come back. Nurses should come back. They're one of the good characters of chapter 4. But it's so weird that the passion and commitment from this person to this game, I love it. I love it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this, ladies and gentlemen. So what do? You follow them on their Twitter. I'll put the link in the description down below, and we will get the chance to actually compare it, talk about this fan game and the original Dark Deception Chapter 4, but it is so funny and I love it. So I want you to encourage them because they've been committed to this. So let's encourage them and let's hope they finish it soon so we can get some content for Dark Deception community. Then you guys are not gonna believe this, alright? Dark Deception official Twitter tweeted this out of nowhere. Fun DD fact. Back when Detective Evans was the original protagonist, this was going to be the Dark Deception title screen. A shoddy, noir-style office. And on your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, on your screens right now is our Dark Deception main menu, or what could have been a Dark Deception main menu. Off the bat, it is so reminiscent of the Joy of Creation story mode. I'm not saying that every other game and idea comes from that game. It's just to remind you guys because that's the easiest reference, because a lot of you have seen or played that game, so it's easy for me to connect that. I'm not throwing shades or anything at all. Matter of fact, I love this style of main menu. I always love the interactable main menus because that shows you how much passion and commitment the developers have put into their game to go as far as to make main menu interactable and fun. I'm here for it. Of course, it's like it was supposed to be something like this, but it's not. That's why it looks clunky, because it was supposed to be, but they didn't follow through with this. But this opens a lot of questions. One thing I do want to say that closes the door on something, and that is Detective Evans' involvement in Dark Deception lore. Vincent Livings officially said that, and I'm quoting him by the way, Detective Evans is now a permanent resident of Monsters Immortals. When someone asked maybe he could be a protagonist in the sequel, and I was hoping that one day we might get a spin-off based on him before the events of, Dark Deception or whatnot, before he even got to the monkey level. But no, he's just now a Monsters Immortals character. It doesn't necessarily means that he was never involved in Dark Deception. Of course he was. I mean, it's literally like canon, but it's like he won't return to Dark Deception because he's now sucked into Monsters Immortals Malek's realm world, which is funny because if that's his realm, why is he one of the playable characters? That just makes no sense. But anyways, in the future, I would love for there to be a game where it's a spin-off where Pierce is not involved, Malek is not there, like just different characters like Clarissa E. Hauser, Tammy Hauser, or just someone different, like completely from a different perspective. We don't have to go around collect soul shards, just within the universe of Dark Deception, but just a different thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, hoping that something like this pops up in Chapter 5. And speaking of Chapter 5, ladies and gentlemen, I know I said that we're not completely, well, officially we are not back, but if you remember, Vincent Livings tweeted out saying that Pierce's lines are being recorded. So that was back in January. So I said back then that unfortunately it seems like we are a long ways off from Chapter 5. That's why we're not getting any teasers because there's just so much work left to do, number one. And even if they do show teasers, it will be just spoilers, which I understand, but that was the same thing with Chapter 4, but Vincent Livings, you still somehow managed to release teasers immediately after Chapter 3. I remember there was not a single week or a month that went by without any Chapter 4 teasers. Every week or other week or 3 weeks or a month, we would get teasers. Regular it was, but I understand, a lot of work was put into Chapter 4 way before Chapter 3 even dropped, so it makes sense. For Chapter 5, they are doing a lot of things. I understand that, but I just want to get back into Chapter 5 excitement and hype and anticipation and whatnot, so which is why we're gonna start that soon. Lore, gameplay mechanics, fan games, fan-made jump scares, fan-made animations, and a lot of things. You guys, we're gonna bring those Chapter 4 days back for Chapter 5. Trust me. Vincent Living said on Twitter that Chapter 5 is the final chapter of the first Dark Deception game. We are going all out on it. Some really fun surprises in store. Of course, he had to throw in there of first Dark Deception, guys. There will be a sequel. So don't worry, relax, number 1. And number 2, Chapter 5 is the final chapter. And I still gotta remind you for some reason. I don't know why I keep reminding you guys. You guys know that by heart now. The Chapter 5 is going to release in 2 parts. Part 1 is gonna have 2 levels. And we don't know nothing about Part 2. Part 1 is gonna have 2 levels. We know Mannequins, which is final level, before we get to the final level of the known monsters, because we don't know the final portal. So Mannequins are part of Chapter 5, and then there's going to be another level in Chapter 5, and that's it. That's it with Chapter 5 Part 1. Then part 2 is gonna wrap up everything. So how's that gonna work? Well, let's start a small theory here, and then we're gonna end this video. We know mannequins, 100%, a lot of videos coming on them very soon, don't worry about it. The real issue here is the final portal, like who's after mannequins, right? Whoever it is after mannequins, one thing is for certain. Chapter 5 part 1, in my opinion, it's a theory by the way, it's gonna end on a cliffhanger. It has to, so that there's part 2 left, which will wrap up everything. I am putting my money here. Yes, I am throwing a theory out there way before we even start making chapter 5 playlist. There's gonna be a playable section that does not involve Beers, Malak, Doug Hauser. I am putting it right there. Maybe it's a little too obvious, which is why I'm confident, but I think there will be a playable section with either Clarissa Elise Hauser or Tammy Hauser. It might be set in a prequel way before like Doug Hauser even got involved, just to see a flashback, but it doesn't matter if they're in the final form or in the human form, or if it's a prequel, a sequel, or Bendy and the Dark Rebel, not a prequel. By the way, watch that video. It does not matter. Main point that I'm trying to convey right now is that one of these two characters or others will be playable. You guys know exactly where the story is going. You think out of nowhere Vincent Livings added a new character in Dark Deception Enhanced for nothing? We are going to meet her, make no mistake. We are going to meet her, and you know what would be sick in the final portal? We meet that E-person, and then Doug Hauser is surprised, it's you? And then it cuts to black, and then we play as her. We go back in the past and we play as her. We sneak around, do our thing, whatever. That is what I'm trying to put here. This is exactly why I took break from Dark Deception, because I wanted to get my mind fresh, and now I have so many fresh, me gusta theories. Is that how you say that? Listen, I'm just already getting passionate and excited talking about it. It's not even my solid theory. So yeah, chapter 5 has endless possibilities. Not to mention there's a mini game in chapter 5 called Super Dark Deception, which is gonna be separately released on mobile as well, Android and iOS. So there's just so much to look forward to in chapter 5. There's a reason Vincent Link said we are going all out on it. We know nothing about it, but just the possibilities that we think of in our head after seeing chapter 4, it's just insane, because now we know the pacing is going to be better. Now we know there are going to be multiple characters, that Blue Ball, E, Elise Hauser, and all the other characters. Like, bro, I'm so excited for the future of Dark Deception. I'm just sad that once chapter 5 is out, there's gonna be a huge silence. You know there's gonna be a huge silence, like a year or two, before Vincent Livings reveals that, hey, Dark Deception 2 is now finally in production. So I'm kind of sad. So I want to take the opportunity of chapter 5 part 1 and chapter 5 part 2 to ensure that we have as much fun and enjoyment as possible as a community. I want to encourage everyone to start making Dark Deception Chapter 5 Mannequins fan games, or just Dark Deception Chapter 5 fan games, or just Dark Deception fan games in general. We'll be starting very soon. Next week, it's going down, ladies and gentlemen. So what do? It is very simple. You follow me on Instagram. You follow me on Twitter, both at @SmackNPie, easy tag. And then after that, you go right here. You go right down below and you subscribe if you haven't already. You hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Then you smash like. Then you go down in the comments below and you type whatever you want to type. And then I'll see you in the next video. Until then, oh, it feels so good. It's like my soul is back. It's like I'm finally back. Every time I talk about Dark Deception, it's like I'm back. I am back. Let's make it pies. Alright, enough. That's enough. We get it, Smack. We get it. You're excited for chapter 5. Stop. You're cringe. I'll see you in the next one.